Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. If this is your very first time here, welcome. And if you're returning, hey girl, hey, welcome back. You know I'm glad to have you in the building. So today, I'm going there. We are talking about shady experiences during plus size pregnancy. I did not want to have to talk about this again, but people be trying it. I told myself, you did this the last time you was pregnant, you got it off your chest, now we're better. And then the shadiness began. So this is about to get real specific real fast. Let me take you to, it was a few days ago, right? And I just so happened to be looking through my doctor's notes from my OBGYN. I'm scrolling, and at the bottom there's a note and it's like, condition, pregnancy complications due to obesity. But where are the complications? According to what you've told me, there's nothing wrong with my baby. There's nothing wrong with me. I've taken your tests. Everything has come back negative. So what are the conditions? To me, that's just mad shady. Like, you can write overweight, you can write obese on the paper, that's fine. She's thick, we get it. But for you to say that there are pregnancy complications due to obesity is trifling. Because if there are complications, you haven't told me about them. Don't you think I should know? And if there are not complications, why do you have this on the paper? So what I'm trying to say, basically, my first point, it is so frustrating to be plus size and to have doctors treat you a certain way because of your weight, right? So writing stuff down on your documentation that they've told you nothing about, or even making up things, making up complications because you're overweight. That's a no-no. I'm irritated. This is really focused on the shadiness of doctors when it comes to being plus size. So I go to get my ultrasound, right? And they send me to this other place. Now this has never happened to me before. This is my third child. But they send me to this whole other like women's institute clinic place, right? It's a big place, it's in a big hospital. And when I get in there, she tells me that the reason that I'm there is because the tools that they have to see the baby via ultrasound in my doctor's office can't see, there's too much fat in the way basically for them to see through to the baby. And this was around 18 weeks pregnant. This is so embarrassing and like, it high-key like made me mad, but if that's what you have to do, that's fine. I'm gonna go through whatever steps need to be taken to make sure that my baby is good, what she is. But why didn't you say that? Like, they literally just sent me to this other place with no explanation as to why. I just assumed that they weren't doing ultrasounds in my doctor's office that particular week for whatever reason. I know has some crazy stuff going on, so I'm like, okay, maybe they just cannot do my ultrasound here. You sent me to this place 35 minutes away because your tools aren't high tech enough to see through a little bit of fat, girl. I'm hot. I'm mad. And I'm mad not because I had to go to this other place. That irritated me. But why didn't you just say that? The lack of communication, the lack of openness and honesty when it comes to doctors and patients, in my experience, patients who are considered overweight, is annoying and extremely frustrating. Open your mouth. Just say that. Say, hey girl, we can't do it here because XYZ, so we're gonna send you over to this other place. Because I'm over at this other place and they're treating me like I am a special case patient, like I have some condition that they have to be careful about. And the condition is fat, girl. The condition is belly flubber, okay? Like, cut it out. So I'm at my ultrasound and the tech is like, did you have gestational diabetes in your previous pregnancies? And I was like, no. She was like, oh, that's so good. Hopefully you won't get it this time. Why would you say that? Would you say that to Sally Sue, who's 120 is my question. And if the answer is no, don't say that to me. If I had gestational diabetes previously and you're concerned that I'm gonna get it again, okay, girl, fine. But don't look at my body and assume that there is something wrong with my pregnancy, or assume that there is something wrong inside of my body. Let my body tell you. If I take the glucose test and I come back positive for gestational diabetes, by all means, treat me for it, talk to me about it, discuss it, whatever. But if my test comes back negative, don't make assumptions about me that I had it, or that I should have it, or that you're praying and hoping that I don't get it this time. That is rude. I hope you don't get it this time. I hope your mom doesn't get it. I don't know. This really ended up being a rant about how doctors treat women who are plus size based on the look of their body versus the numbers and the science and the charts. Read my charts. Take my tests. That's your responsibility. You do that. If my tests tell you that the answer is no, then the answer is no. Stop assuming. I've never had preeclampsia, okay? So you coming to me and saying you should take aspirin every day just to make sure that you don't end up getting high blood pressure, and maybe I'm just being sensitive, but it's like, girl, what is my body telling you? Is my body telling you that I have high blood pressure? Are my previous pregnancies telling you that I'm going to have preeclampsia? Because I know a lot of times with these different conditions, if you had it in a previous pregnancy, a lot of times it is assumed that you may have it again. Did I have it last time? Did I have it the time before that? Don't just be putting me on stuff because you feel like it and you're the same size as me. Are you taking aspirin every day? Ooh, child. These people be making me hot, okay? So those are my personal shady experiences in plus size pregnancy. This is actually a part 2. I have a part 1 where I talk about when people can't really tell you pregnant because you got the flap that's a little looser at the bottom than at the top, so you don't really look pregnant as early in pregnancy as other people. That's all in the last video. You can go take a look there. This one is more specifically about these practitioners and these doctors and how they be trying it. Thank you for listening. If you can relate to any of these, please leave me a comment down below. Hopefully none of these things have happened to you, but if they have, let's talk about it down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Oh, if you haven't already, girl, hit that subscribe button. All right, bet. See you later. Bye.